Hey everybody. Just for last, I figured I'd go ahead and install Windows 8 on the Mid Tower Deluxe. So we can give it a good little run through the operating system just to show you how much I hate it. And so that way you guys can't try to say I'm hating on it because I never tried it. Well, the truth is I've actually tried it back when the developer preview come out. And I didn't like it then. So basically I have a 320 GB hard drive sitting outside the machine, hooked up to a SATA connection, so that way I haven't even messed with my internal hard drive configuration, because there's absolutely no way I'll install this crap on my computer permanently unless it gets better. So anyways, once this gets done, we're gonna go ahead and have some fun. This is what the boot animation looks like for Windows 8. You just get the dull looking Windows 8 logo and a little turning thing. That's it. And just the new Windows logo just kind of gives you a sign of how bad Windows 8 is compared to Windows 7. The Windows 7 logos, the Windows 7 Windows Vista logos were very shiny and pretty. This one here is very dull and bland. I mean, it's just. I mean, just look at it. Doesn't that look ugly? Okay, now that I've got stuff configured and programmed and installed, let's go and have a look at Windows 8. One good thing I can say right away is for users that have two or more displays, you are not completely locked into the Metro interface, which is now called, I think, Modern UI or Windows 8 interface or something else. But in this video, I'm going to refer to it as Metro interface because that's the most common name for it. Anyways, this Metro interface is more or less, it's designed for touch. It's designed as if your computer was a smartphone or tablet. Now, for tablet users who are using Windows 8, this is cool. I mean, it will work good on a tablet for the most part. But there are definitely a lot of things that I have to gripe about when it comes to this new Metro interface, which is now your new start menu. Just have a look at the mess. It gets better. Now, of course, let me go ahead and just get out of this. Now, of course, if you was only on one display, you would actually have to click on desktop to get to your desktop. So anyways, we're on the desktop now, and the desktop portion of Windows 8 is actually pretty nice. They've actually designed it where the taskbar is on both displays now. So for multi-display users, you now have a taskbar on both display, and your notification area is actually on the right portion of your second display. And everything within the desktop environment, for the most part, is really similar to Windows 7. So the only big thing you're getting with Windows 8 is this new Metro interface and a new theme. Well, there are a few other things, but I'll get into those here shortly. But let's go ahead and look at that Metro interface again. Now, I mean, even for me, who is an experienced Windows user, I mean, of course, I fix computers, I'm pretty experienced with how to get through Windows, at least till now. With Windows 7 and prior versions, I didn't have a problem finding things, but in Windows 8, things are a lot different. Here we have all the pre-included junk. See, when it comes to OEM computers, they include a bunch of bloatware. But now Microsoft has done that with all these apps, these smartphone apps, like your mail, calendar, people, messaging, weather, and all that kind of stuff. Now, there are a few of these apps that are actually pretty nice. Let's go ahead and start with the weather. Now, for about all the apps in Windows 8, the way this Metro interface is designed, I have definitely got a lot to gripe about. Now, of course, it scrolls back and forth, which is, of course, this is designed for touch. And here's one big concern about Windows 8. I mean, it concerns me right off the bat. You can't just easily close a Metro application. Like, you right-click somewhere and you get settings for your app, but there's nothing there to close it out. And when I started this up right away, it asked me if I wanted to automatically set my location based on area. I said yes, and it set my location to Charlotte. Yeah, my ISP is in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I live in Huntersville, North Carolina, so I would prefer to get Huntersville, North Carolina weather on this weather app. Let's go to places, and I added Huntersville in here, but there's no obviously easy way to change your settings here. Everything is so difficult to use. I mean, it's a real shame. I mean, the weather thing is actually pretty nice. I kind of like the weather app, but let's get out of this. Click on, go here to start, and it's funny. The only way I can think of to close an app in the Metro interface is to right click and say close after going out of it. Now let me go and open some other apps just to show you some things. Like, let's open the calendar. Oh, you need to have a Microsoft account to have this. Let's get out of this. Let's look at photos. I've heard photos is pretty nice. There are a lot of graphics in the photos, but let's see. Okay, I don't have any pictures in my pictures library. Let me go ahead and fix that right quick. Okay, I dropped a folder of some pictures into my pictures library. Let's go and launch that photo app again. Still saying couldn't find any photos in here. Oh, there it goes. Sky pictures. Just to give you a general idea of how it looks. All these apps are designed for touch. As I'm scrolling the mouse, where everything goes to the right. I mean, these apps, now if they just give you an easier way to close them, would be pretty nice on a tablet, or let's say a desktop if you wanted to use them. So let's click on start. And I found the trick with this. Get back out of this again. Let's see. You have to mouse over, and then you get what would be equivalent to your taskbar in, let's say, desktop. I'll close this. Now let's look at let's see, music. Right now it's Xbox Music. This site, I mean, it was designed to be accessed from, like, let's say, an Xbox 360, but it's not very pleasing to me. And it's all for Xbox. That's real funny. Go back to start. Close this out. It's funny. I'm learning as I am shooting this video, and I'm still not pleased. And of course, your non-Metro applications, your programs, as I like to call them, are like this, and this is only a few. Notice it's a big mess. Load of garbage. Here's only a few things I've added. The like I say, the photo gallery, movie maker, that kind of stuff. Let's look at some other things before I get finished on Metro. Let's go and look at some other things. Let's say, for example, Google Chrome, which right now is the default browser, and you have to have it say your default browser to get the Metro interface. But let me just go and show you some things. Some more things I don't like about Metro. Let me go ahead and go back to start, and let's go ahead and launch a few other little apps, like, let's say, the photos. And it, like, let's see, it crams Chrome over into this little bitty spot, rather than let's go to a web page, for example. Let's go to my channel. Alright, here's Cube Computer Channel. And let's go ahead and show you something. It crams your web browser into this little bitty spot. Let's see, let's pull up the photos. And you can have the photos like this, or there's no half and half. Either wants to have one big and one small, Or the other big and other small. No, 50-50 like what you would have in Windows 7 with the, well, whatever you call it. The, one of the arrow features. Arrow snap, I think is what it's called. But yeah, this is ridiculous. It doesn't let you have a 50-50 share of the screen. That thing is absolutely just ridiculous. Now let's go back to Start to access the taskbar. And here's Photos. Close that. And I thought we had something else running. Oh yeah, Google Chrome. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, let's go ahead and just... It's real funny how messy this is. To get all your programs, this is gonna get much better. To get all your programs, you gotta right click, and of course you in the Metro you have no menu right next to your mouse cursor. It's down here at the bottom. Like I said, it's designed for touch. Click on all apps and you get this mess. This here is what's on the start screen by default, and here's all your installed programs. Now I'm going to show you something for comparison. I gotta actually plug my laptop into power. Just give me just a moment. Now of course in Windows 7 you just click on all programs and all your installed programs are neatly organized into folders. That's the way it's always been with Windows. Now of course in XP everything would expand across your screen. Some people like that. I kinda like it this way. Everything is compact and cozy. Very organized. And when you go to search for something, you don't have to make multiple clicks. Let's say, for example, I want to search for a setting, or actually, I want to search for printer. And it's giving me stuff that's in the control panel. Now let's go and look at Windows 8, how it works. I want to search for printer. By default, it only looks for apps. Now you have to click down to settings, and they finally got this fixed. Now we have settings. Now, why couldn't it automatically just show this by default, seeing that the apps and files options had 0 results? I'll never understand that, but yeah. Let's get out of this and make the start. So anyways, as you can see, the new start screen is nothing but a big mess. A waste of time. At least on the desktop anyway. It's good for a tablet, but even on a tablet I would still say it needs some work done to it. But before I finish, let me go ahead and just do one more thing. I'm going to pull up... Oh, there's Chrome. Oh, magically I know where it appeared. See guys, this is why I do not like Windows 8. It's a load of garbage. Now let's see if we can get rid of Chrome. The cool thing about Chrome is it has a little X next to each tab, and when you click the X on one tab, it automatically closes out Chrome. Now let me go ahead and get Windows Internet Explorer set as a default browser. Okay, now since Internet Explorer is the default browser, I can open it in the Metro interface. And just notice, in Internet Explorer they put your address bar and navigation buttons down at the bottom for, like, let's say a tablet, because your hands are usually, I would assume your hands will be near the bottom of the tablet. And if you want to open a new tab, you gotta click up here. Well, actually no, yeah, okay, you gotta right click and say new tab. Go back to Q Computer Channel again. We're now looking at Q Computer Channel in the Metro interface. And let's say, I want to go back to the other tab that was open. You gotta right click with your cursor up top and then go over here back to MSN. Now in Chrome they showed you all the tabs and everything so we could easily access between the two. And I'm just saying, it's just a real mess with Internet Explorer 10 and the Metro interface. And like I say, I'll just close out that last tab, and instead of closing the browser, it just went to a blank page. So let's go ahead and close Google Chrome, which is still open somehow. And go back to Start. Close out Internet Explorer. Now go to the desktop. Now let's go and look at some things in the desktop. Things actually get a little bit nicer here. The only thing, the real big thing with the problem with the desktop is they got rid of the classic start menu. You know, the good old start menu that comes with Windows 7, Vista, and before. That's now gone. And they've even taken out the files and keys and everything to where you can't just easily re-enable it. So there is a solution to that. You have to get what's called Start 8, which is a third-party developed start menu, which actually it's pretty sad when you see Windows Blinds, well, whatever company made that thing, had to actually create something that Microsoft was too dumb to put into their own operating system. It just blows my mind. Anyways, back to Windows 8. Let's go and look at some things. First off, the Windows Explorer. The Windows Explorer now has features, now has ribbon interface. It has a couple of neat little features like this little up button. This way you can easily close folders. And that's, other than that, it's the same as Windows 7. Let's look at Task Manager. Now Task Manager I think is pretty cool. And by default, Task Manager looks real stripped down. You gotta click on more details. Now you have access to your apps, which are programs, background processes, Windows processes, all of this stuff, which is very useful for power users. Click over to performance. You get these nice graphs for memory, CPU, your drives, and everything. And let's have a look at this. It tells you everything about your CPU. It tells you it's running at the maximum speed is 4.2 gigahertz. Tells you utilization, 42 processes, 810 threads, 20,657 handles. Well, it keeps changing. Tells you your socket amount, cores. Which is actually it's actually an 8-core processor. It says there's 8 logical processors. Tells you virtualization is enabled. Tells you your cache amounts. Tells you your uptime. It gives you a little link to Resource Monitor. I'm kind of surprised how it caught this as 4 cores when the CPU is actually an 8-core processor. And I click over to App History. It tells you all these things here about what's been open, all that kind of stuff. Gives you access to startup stuff. You can turn startup programs off. Like, let's say I want to go and disable this. And now that should now that's disabled from here on out. Go over to users, details, which is really like the processor tab in Windows 7. You have all your processes in alphabetical order. This is actually the kind of interface I like. It gives you access to services. So you notice I'm spending a lot of time on neat features in Windows 8. I mean, this Task Manager is really nice. Now, let's go ahead and look at some other things. Everything in the desktop is just so similar to Windows 7. Like for say, let's say screen resolution. Had to configure this when I first installed Windows 8, and it's just like Windows 7. Gonna personalize. Everything is so similar. Now I gotta go back into the hang on. I'm gonna skip the Metro interface and go straight to Control Panel. Go small icons. Let's look at system properties. This is so similar to Windows 7. Everything is just so similar to Windows 7. It even has the advanced system settings and all that. Let's look at Device Manager. Device Manager is identical. And let's go back to Control Panel. Look at some other things like, let's say, Network and Sharing Center. This is pretty much the same. It's exactly the same as Windows 7. So the only positive thing that would even want me to upgrade to Windows 8 is the Task Manager so far. And let me go and just show you a few more things. This video is not really in a good order. I apologize for that, but I'm kind of stumbling here with Windows 8. Another good thing, for me anyway, is that the Windows Vista Movie Maker actually works on Windows 8. Of course, I installed it the same way I do to Windows 7, and it works in Windows 8. I'll even show you. It tells you that it's Windows Movie Maker version 6.0, that's Vista. And close this out. Now there's one more thing I want to show you. Now actually I'll go ahead and show you the startup time before I finish this video. But let's see. Let's say I want to shut down Windows or restart Windows. It's no longer easy. You can do it from, let's see, the Metro interface. And the real trick to this is you have to have your mouse cursor in just the right spot, right up corner. Now, of course, they don't unless you're installing the OS, they'll actually tell you that, but otherwise, you won't even have a clue how to get there. You have to go down to Settings. Then you have access to Network, Volume, something else, all brightness, notifications, keyboard, and power. And now you can actually restart. So let's restart. Now keep in mind how long this is taking, because we're going to do a 1 to 7 start before this video is over with. Now many people said that well, that actually wouldn't be a very fair bias, because I'm starting off of a 320 gigabyte single hard drive versus a RAID Stripe with Windows 7 on it. But anyways, people say that Windows 8 has a very fast boot up time. That seemed about average for Windows 7, or Windows, well, no, yeah, Windows 7 in my opinion. And here's that very dumb Metro interface. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. So anyways, that was a restart of Windows 8. Now let's see. I'm trying to figure out how some users actually got to that standby screen. Look at a few more things right now before I get finished. See what share is. Okay. Now every time you pull this up, it pulls up this big old clock. Don't that remind you of a tablet? Anyways, I'm done with this. I mean, I apologize. This video took so long and wasn't really in order. I mean, I did cover Metro for the most part. Now I cover some desktop, but anyways, you get the idea. So please do not comment saying that I hate Windows 8 because I have never tried it before. Because, okay, I've officially tried the RTM and I'm still, my thoughts have not changed. So let's get out of this. So let's now go back into Windows 7, and luckily for me, the way I set this up, I can easily get right back into Windows 7 within just a minute or so. So let's get out of this. Go to Settings, Power, Restart. Alright, we're shutting down. It thinks it's restarting, but this Windows 8 will never get to boot again. I'm going to enter the system BIOS. This motherboard takes a little while to post for some reason. It's always been like that. Alright, we're about to get going. This monitor here takes a little bit longer to start. That's the monitor I've recapped. It still works just fine. Now you're about to get to see a comparison of Windows 8 on a single hard drive versus Windows 7 on 2 hard drives. Now Windows 7 has about 150 programs installed, so don't expect it to really keep up with a clean install of Windows 8. Now let me go ahead and change my boot settings. We're going to go ahead and change the hard drive back over to RAID Stripe. Alrighty. Let's go back to Windows 7. Now, excuse me sounding a little bit hoarse. I'm just now getting over a cold. But Windows 8 is really, people have said that the official release date is the 26th, and I just downloaded it off the internet last night, which was the 24th, and I actually got Windows 8 for free from my college. It's funny, I get Windows 8 for free, and I still don't want to use it. And that was Windows 8 Professional. And by the way, to get Windows Media Center, I think I mentioned that earlier, but to get Windows Media Center, you have to buy an add-on. And here's Windows 7. Now, of course, like I say, if I'd have put Windows 8 on my RAID Stripe, it would have been a fair comparison, but Windows 8 was on the 320 gigabyte single hard drive, not a very fast hard drive at the same time. Like I said, this Windows 7 has over probably 150 programs installed and about 600 gigs worth of files. Finally, we're home. Yeah, this is a lot more familiar now. I'm back home again. So anyways, that was my little, well, not little, it was a pretty large video explaining why I do not like Windows 8. So, please, if you get Windows 8, get professional, because there's a cool thing, it's called downgrade rights. Now, you'd have to get a hold of a Windows 7 install DVD, but you could actually downgrade to Windows 7 without any additional cost. Or just get a copy of Windows 7 if you're custom building a computer. Don't waste your time with Windows 8. So anyways, any questions or comments, feel free to ask.